Hello, everyone. Welcome to your first podcast on anatomy language. We start off the year in anatomy with this unit because it's really important that we discuss all of these terms that we're going to use throughout the semester. And really, any anatomy class you're going to take in the future, all of these terms are going to be vital to your understanding. They really are going to become part of your normal vocabulary throughout this semester. All the terms we're going to use in this unit are just going to be pivotal for the understanding of every unit after. Okay, every podcast that we do in this class, whether it's in Edpuzzle and we're doing maybe e-learning, or whether you're watching this podcast just for some extra review before a quiz or a test, or maybe you were absent, I always recommend downloading the PDF version of these slides into your Notability and split screening so you can take your own notes as we go. So if you haven't yet done that, I recommend going into Schoology, finding the PDF file of the Unit 1 Anatomy Language Notes, putting those into Notability, and then again, taking your own notes as you go. There's going to be some practice slides along the way where I encourage you to fill in answers, and it's really important. It's very helpful to your understanding that you do that. So this first podcast is going to be focusing on directional terms. So these are terms used to reference certain points of the body compared to other points in the body. So we'll be talking about those today and practicing them as well. Okay, the first two terms we're going to be talking about are superior versus inferior. Superior, as you can see in the image, refers to towards the head of the body or the upper part of a structure, or it could also simply mean above something else. And then inferior would be the opposite. This would be away from the head end towards the lower part of the body or the lower part of a structure, or it could also simply mean below. So an example I could say here is that the head is superior to the feet. Okay, if I wanted to flip that, I could say that the feet were inferior to the head. Okay, here's a slide to practice your understanding of superior versus inferior. So please fill in the blanks. The forehead is blank to the nose, and the navel, navel is another word for belly button. Just to give you a reference point, the navel or belly button is blank to the breastbone. And if you're not familiar with the breastbone, another name, the official name for it is the sternum. So it's like your chest. Okay, so what I would recommend is that you pause the movie now and in Notability, go ahead and fill out these blanks and then press play again and you'll see the answers. Okay, so hopefully you filled in the blanks in Notability. You should have wrote that the forehead is superior to the nose. In other words, the forehead is above the nose. And then the navel or the belly button is inferior or below compared to the sternum or the breastbone. Okay, next we're moving on to the terms anterior versus posterior. And we can also say ventral versus dorsal. So anterior and ventral means towards or at the front of the body. You could also say in front of. And then posterior and dorsal mean the opposite. It's towards the back side of the body, or in other words, you could say behind. Okay, an example I could say here is that the nose is anterior to the ears. Okay, I could say reverse that and I could say the ears are posterior to the nose. Okay, now I want you to do this practice slide. Hopefully you're split screened in Notability and you have your own copy of notes there. So please fill in the blanks. The breastbone, and again, remember the breastbone is your sternum. Okay, that's the bone that's right over your heart. Okay, so the sternum or breastbone is blank to the spine. Okay, and then the heart is blank to the breastbone or the sternum. So pause your movie now and fill in the blanks. Okay, so hopefully you filled in the blanks. So what we have here, the breastbone or the sternum is anterior to the spine. In other words, the sternum is closer to the front of the body than the spine is. And then the heart is posterior to the breastbone or the sternum. That heart is just under that sternum. So it's closer to the back side of the body, the heart is, than the sternum is. Okay, next we have the terms medial versus lateral. Medial means towards or at the midline of the body, on the inner side, closer to the middle of the body. Okay. And then lateral is the opposite. That's away from the midline of the body. That's on the outer side, closer to the outer side of the body. Okay, to give you an example, um, try to think of one that's not on the next slide. The belly button is medial to the arms. Okay, so that's saying that the belly button is closer to the midline of the body than the arms are. And then I could flip that. I could say the arms are lateral to the belly button. Okay, you're probably getting the hang of this now, but now you're going to pause the video and you're going to fill in this practice slide with the words medial versus lateral. Okay, so hopefully you have filled in your blanks. I'm going to show you those answers now, so please check your answers. So the nose is medial to the ears, which means the nose is closer to the midline of the body, the middle of the body, than the ears are. The ears, if we reverse that, then are lateral to the nose, which means the ears are closer to the outside, the sides of the body, than the nose is. The lungs are lateral to the heart. Sometimes it helps here, if you're not sure about this one, to look up a picture of the heart and the lungs. You know, the heart sits right there in the middle of the lungs. So the lungs are on either side of the heart. So the lungs are lateral to the heart. And then the opposite, the heart is medial to the lungs. It's in the middle of the two lungs. And then the last one, the arms are lateral to the chest. Okay, next we have proximal versus distal. The thing you have to remember about proximal versus distal, it is only on the limbs. So these two words only apply to things that are on your arms and your legs. So proximal means closer to the point of attachment. So for your arms, the point of attachment we're talking about is going to be your shoulder. So that's your point of attachment. And then for your legs, the point of attachment of your legs would be your hip. So that's your point of attachment. So when we say proximal, we're saying that it's closer to your shoulder or closer to your hip. So your shoulder would be the most proximal part of your arm, and your hip would be the most proximal part of your leg. And then distal is the opposite. Distal is the farthest point of attachment. So your fingers and your toes would be the most distal points on your arms and your legs. Okay, we have another practice slide. Now, depending on where we are in the unit, some of these terms on this slide you might not have fully learned yet. So I've also put the common names for all of these things as well. So you want to pause your movie now, and you want to probably, hopefully, your split screen to Notability and fill in the blanks. And again, if you're not sure what antecubital or carpal means, I wrote the common names as well to give you a reference point. So please pause the movie now and fill in your answers. Okay, hopefully you filled in your answers. I'm going to go over them now. So the antecubital, which is actually the inner elbow, is going to be proximal to your wrist, okay? Which again, that means that your elbow, your antecubital, is closer to your shoulder than your carpal is or your wrist. And then if we flip that, your wrist is distal to your antecubital or your elbow. So your wrist is farther away from your shoulder than your elbow is. Okay, next moving on to your leg, your knee or your patellar is proximal to your tarsal or your ankle. So your knee is closer to your hip than your ankle is. And then your thigh or your femoral is proximal to your fibular or your shin. So it's closer to your hip than your shin would be. All right, next we have superficial versus deep. And I don't know why this picture always kind of makes me laugh, but it does really show a good representation of the difference between superficial or deep. Superficial is towards or at the surface of the body. So the most superficial part of your body is your skin. It can't get any more superficial than your skin. And then deep is the opposite. That's away from the surface of the body. So more internal or inside your body. Okay, please pause the movie now and go ahead and write in your answers and notability. Okay, so here's the answer. So the skin is superficial to the skeleton, which means the skin is closer to the outside of the body than your skeleton is. And then the lungs are deep to the rib cage. So the ribs are on the outside of the lungs, and the lungs are inside the rib cage. So the lungs are deep to the rib cage. Okay, and the trickiest anatomy language directional term is right versus left. And I'm being sarcastic when I say tricky because most people don't find this part tricky, but there is one thing you have to remember when we're saying right versus left. It is always the patient's right and left when we're referring to paired body parts. Okay, so if you're looking at a skeleton, or if you're looking at this diagram, for example, or anything in anatomy, we always have to remember that it's the patient's right or left, or the skeleton's right or left, not yours. Usually you're facing the object, so you have to remember that it's always the right and the left of the object that you're looking at. All right, that's all for you this first podcast in anatomy language. Hopefully, you have a good understanding for the directional terms. If you need a little extra practice, don't forget that Quizlet is a great place to go. You have links to all your sets of Quizlet um, on your learning targets, and also right in Schoology. There's a Quizlet folder. So you can go to either place. You can do a couple of games in Quizlet. It's a great way to get these words down.